I'm Kristine Matheson, and welcome to Preventing and Surviving Cancer. I'm the author of a book called From Cancer to Wellness, The Forgotten Secrets. I also have a few other books out there, but the main reason I'm here today is to share with you the reason I wrote From Cancer to Wellness. It is a step-by-step handbook for beating cancer, and it is really my story about how I overcame stage 4 metastasized cancer in 2005 with no medical interference. I was told to go away and get my affairs in order, and instead of doing that, I created a program intuitively that was to save my life, and within 5 months I was cancer free. As you probably know, 19.3 million, or maybe you don't know, new cases of cancer were diagnosed in the year 2020. With all the COVID going on, nobody sort of really looked at actually sharing those statistics out in the public. It was mostly all about COVID. It still is, I guess, unfortunately, because, I have an opinion on that, but we won't share that right now. So, with that many people, being diagnosed with cancer, and with a survival rate of only 2.3% in Australia and 2.1% in the United States surviving from the use of chemotherapy after 5 years, we really need to look at something a little bit more about the way I did things, and there are other people out there doing some amazing stuff also. But my journey and my experience has kind of like put me in the category, I guess, as a cancer. I don't like to call myself an expert, because other people have, but I guess because I've worked with so many people in the area of cancer who have survived just using my program, I'm so passionate about sharing what we all need to be doing to survive and also to prevent, because 95% of cancer cases are caused by lifestyle and environmental factors. So that means if you stop living the lifestyle you live now and putting the bad nutrition into your body, mind and soul, well, then you will be able to prevent any nasties that come along. We sometimes get hit sideways, because statistically someone, either in your family or your close circle of friends, has been diagnosed with cancer. It affects 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women. The good news is cancer is preventable, and I know personally it is curable. Now, what we need to do though is we need to accept responsibility for our own health. And the reasons, we do this is, people often put the reasons for and the excuses for not surviving or not taking responsibilities instead of owning what's happened to us. We have to own it. We have to be accountable, and we have to live in abundance no matter what. We were going through a lot of business upheaval through the period of time when I had cancer. My husband and I had a building company, and we were defrauded of $7 million. And I always say to people, if I can get over the cancer through that period of time, anybody can get over it, because we lost everything. But I had to really concentrate on the abundance within me of what I actually had to offer for my family at first, and then to the rest of humanity, I guess, because if I got over my cancer, I was going to be doing something great for other people. And of course, fear can be your biggest enemy. Fear is directly connected to ignorance and a lack of knowledge. Fear causes us to vibrate at a much lower rate and get sick and age faster. And of course, we often go into hope when we get cancer. Hope is actually outside of yourself. You talk about people having hope that, I hope she gets this, I hope she gets that, blah, blah, blah. It's all outside of yourself. You can't be living in hope, because hope will lead you to pills, potions and miracle lotions. I hope this will fix me. And there are a lot of people out there wanting to take advantage of you if you have some sort of chronic illness by filling you up with a pill, a potion or a miracle lotion. That in actual fact, yeah, they might work in some small cases, but in the long run they don't. So we need to build up faith. Faith allows us to work in wellness. Faith is a way of getting outside of your sickness. So you walk in your wellness, you put your sickness at the door, and you start doing things that actually are to nurture your body, and your body will be more resilient than you know. You know, a lot of people don't realise how resilient our bodies are and how we can change the body's structure. If we get sick, we have the ability to reverse that. So after you've done all that, you can always go into purpose. And purpose can help you take control of your health, and it also can be an example to others. So, you know, you walk your talk, and other people will see, and other people may take up what you have done to help your health. There are people out there that won't, so don't try and force yourself onto them. What you need to do is to lead by example. And you see, your health is an investment. It's not an expense. You know, whereas when you become sick, it is a very expensive way to have to live, I can assure you. So where do you begin? And where did I begin? Well, I began with my gut. You know, I'd known about gut health for a long time, and I thought my gut was okay, only it wasn't. And of course, I'd had chronic fatigue syndrome, and I'd had a great doctor who taught me a lot about nutritional supplements, but she didn't know anything about food. I had to intuitively put my program together, and food was a big thing because my husband had had cancer in 1980, 4 years before I met him. So it begins with, of course, you know, our gut, but it begins with eliminating candida and parasites. Now you can say, there's a lot of men out there that will, and I've had somebody say it to me once, I can't possibly have candida because that's a woman's thing. Well, I'm sorry folks, it's not a woman's thing only, because it gets into the bloodstream. And the parasites are there. And I don't know anybody who has had cancer that does not have candida and parasites. Not only that, lots of other chronic illnesses, you know, have that problem also. So when you, it's 90% of our immune system is located in the gut. It affects the absorption of our nutrients, it affects the brain, and it also leads into the bloodstream. You know, sugar cravings, depression, excessive tiredness, and it all stresses our adrenals. What are the effects of treating of candida? Our immune system becomes stronger. We can assimilate our nutrients better if we actually look after our gut and get rid of the candida and the parasites. Nutrition is not alternative and it's not complementary. It is a basic requirement of health and central to our good health. A doctor or a professor, Ian Brighthove, said that once. All therapy needs to be functional. This means nurturing the whole body, mind and emotions and our spirit all around our health, okay? So, and our liver, of course, which is the largest organ besides our skin, is the one that is ignored the most. It converts the nutrients we eat into energy and muscle. If dysfunctional, will lead to serious health problems affecting our energy levels and most of all our immune system. The liver supports detoxification. And you know, what we do is we live 80% raw, organic, plant-based food. Keep away from chemicals internally and externally. Rest your liver once a month. If you don't have cancer, that's easy to do. If you have cancer, when I say rest it once a month, please do not go on those silly water fasts and everything, or you could for 30 days, because your body needs nutrients. And there are 10 toxic lifestyle things to avoid. Eating toxic, denatured, pesticide-laden, genetically modified, sugar-laden and processed dead foods are things to avoid. Dead foods are cooked foods, by the way. Some foods that can be steamed off a little bit that still have all those beautiful healthy nutrients in it. With most foods needs to be raw in order for you to benefit 100% from the beautiful nutrients you're going to give your body. And of course you've got to stay away from stress, and you need to have personal care products that aren't going to be toxic to your skin, and you need to exercise, you need to get plenty of sleep, you need to have heaps of bowel movements. If you're eating a lot of red meat, it clogs up your bowel. You must eliminate these things out of your system. Lack of sunshine, vitamin D3, which a lot of countries don't have enough sun, like the UK. You know, take D3 supplements because it's very, very important for your bones and for your calcium in your body and for your immune system. Drink lots of clean water, and most of all too is get lots of fresh air. Okay, out of pollution. If you're living in a polluted environment, please try and get out to fresh air as often as you possibly can. Protein, of course, is essential to healing and cell regeneration. It's most important that you get the right form of protein. You know, seeds and nuts and beans and legumes and all those things, and a mixture with some rice and to form a complete protein. This is really, really important for your health. Now, in my book, I've added eggs. In my cancer program, I did that too, because I know how overwhelming it can be for people to have to all of a sudden go from being a meat eater, etc., into a vegan diet. So I actually put eggs into my body. My doctor, who, she didn't know anything about food, but she knew about supplements. She said to me, "Chris, you've got it," because I was vegan when I got cancer. "You must put some eggs in your body," she said. And in the beginning, you know, when I wrote, the way I've written my book, I've kept it very simple for people, because I know how overwhelming it can be, and you've got to get your head around eating certain things. And raw food isn't just about a piece of lettuce and tomato and onion, etc. And of course, people say to me, because you know I eliminate dairy foods too, and people say to me, "Well, where do I get our calcium from?" Well, D3 will give you your calcium, keep the calcium in your body to avoid osteoporosis. But there are all sorts of other things like sesame seeds, chia seeds, almonds, spinach, kale, coconut water, cashews, oranges, and the list goes on, that are full of calcium. There are heaps and heaps of places that you can get your calcium from. You do not need to get it from cow's milk. You know, in actual fact, somebody said to me once, and it was a doctor said to me once, in actual fact, the protein that's in milk actually pulls the calcium out of the body. So that's an interesting one to think about. And of course, sugar. Sugar is a no-no when you've got cancer and any other chronic illness. As a matter of fact, for prevention, sugar should be avoided at all costs. The food giants make it their business to get you hooked on sugar. So why is sugar so bad? It feeds cancer cells for a start. It's addictive. It's fattening. It's aging. It artificially stimulates the rhythm of the heart. Cardiovascular disease, it triggers off that. It affects bacteria levels in the gut and in the body. It affects alkaline balance. It affects your immune system. Sugar is responsible for most disease. So think about it. Chronic disease, favourite sugars that we actually should stay clear of are things like raw sugar, white sugar, brown sugar, rapadura sugar, fructose, processed fructose, not from fruit, fructose from, you know, when they make it into a syrup or into a powder. Glucose, dextrose, corn sugar, rice sugar, maple syrup, and honey. Now, honey's a very controversial one. You must stay away from honey if you have cancer, because it has the same effect on your body as so does raw sugar does. Now, I was attacked once for putting a list up on a cancer site on Facebook by a couple of people who thought that honey should be okay. I'm sorry, it is not. Even your beautiful Manuka honey that has a lot of healing benefits is no good if you've got cancer. Coconut sugar is another one that you need to stay away from if you have cancer. Now, you know, I know that they put it in a lot of raw food that you actually eat out nowadays. When you buy cakes, make your own raw cakes. I've got heaps of recipes relating to beautiful cakes, and none of them have coconut sugar in it. When you go out and you're at a restaurant, please try and avoid those types of things unless you find out what the ingredients are in those cakes. And of course, palm sugar is another one. Aspartame, maltitol, and sucralose are other things that actually, you know, should be avoided. Of course, they're toxic. And of course, we have to keep our body alkaline, and our pH level needs to be between 7.35 and 7.45 in order to stay alkaline. This is the safe range for healing. Being too alkaline can also be harmful, so be careful of that. Disease thrives, of course, in an acidic body. So all these processed foods and chips and burgers and a whole heap of other things that we put in our bodies, and too much cooked food makes our body acidic. I used to like a lot of cooked food before I had cancer, and that is one of the reasons, you know, even though I was vegan, I ate too much cooked food and not enough raw food. Whereas alkalinity oxygenates the body, and repairs our cells. So we really need to stay alkaline, not acidic, okay? So we need to learn to uncook. So positive effects of eating raw: it's anti-aging, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer and chronic disease. It balances the alkaline levels in the body. It aids digestion. It assimilates and eliminates. So your body needs to be eliminated all the time. You need to go to the toilet more than 2 times a day if you can, at least a minimum of twice, to eliminate. Improves immunity and your mental clarity. It improves sexual function, decreased food cravings leading to, wanting to have lots of other things, increases your willpower, better hydration, antidepressant, and boosts energy. So, I make things like nut creams, nut butters. I make beautiful creams and cheeses and dips and yogurts and everything, all raw. I make coconut yogurts myself. It's very easy to make a coconut yogurt. I make crackers and biscuits. I do things like lasagna and pizzas and raw pizzas and beautiful raw cakes and nori rolls and all these things that are raw. They're amazing. And when we do our retreats, it blows everybody's mind because they don't believe that, people find it difficult to believe that you can actually get those amazing things. And I will be doing some online courses soon because I used to always have people into my home to do raw food classes. And of course, the way things are nowadays, we don't know whether we're going to have events cancelled, etc. And it also gives me the opportunity to share my knowledge and my experience across the world. 5 steps to create raw food. Keep it simple for a start, number 1. Cultivate your emotions around it. Be prepared. Go shopping, with your shopping list and purchase the right equipment. Having the right equipment makes everything possible. So your investment should be in your equipment because it's an investment in your health. So here's the 5 benefits of the strategies. Like for instance, it removes 97% of the need to see a doctor. You're in control of your own health. You'll never undergo painful chemotherapy or radiation, so you won't be losing your hair. I mean, anything that makes you lose your hair, I go, excuse me, what's it doing to my immune system? There is absolutely no requirement for surgery, and you are relying on nature's true power of healing, the true healing power, and returns your body to a perfect state of health. Cancer is gotten rid of by eliminating the cause. Treating the end result, the tumour, is a fool's game. So sleep is another factor. It's important that you get enough sleep, okay? It's important in regards to diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer's, and more. So if you're not getting enough sleep at night, you must catch up during the day. Sleep with your curtains closed. That's really important. Sleep naked. Greater intimacy with your partner if you're sleeping naked, leading to a release of oxytocin, and also known as the cuddle hormone. That it also helps us reduce our blood pressure and relieves stress, and you'll sleep better. It can help to keep you looking and feeling younger if you get enough sleep. It's important whilst you're asleep that your body is a time when it is healing and regenerating. To change your life, you need to change your priorities. It's so important. It's amazing how people don't want to change their priorities until it's too late, till it's far too late. It's important that we actually change the priorities before it's too late. I didn't. I was under lots of stress and lots of other things back in 2005 when I overcame my cancer, and all the business with our business and everything, and it got hold of me and it led to my illness. I have amazing books for sale. I have, on my site, I don't like using the word sale, but because it's such a cheap investment, it's really an investment to go in to buy my From Cancer to Wellness, The Forgotten Secrets. You can buy it on Amazon. Go into my site, cancertowellness.com. It will lead you to Amazon, and I also have my recipe book there. Please take the time to look into my website. Have a look. If you need me, I'm there. I'm an email away or a phone call away. I always and never ever ignore anybody. If you need my help, I'm there to support you no matter what. Because I know how overwhelming it can be, and frightening and fearful. Just give up the fear. You do not need to be in fear. You just need to take control. Thank you so much for hearing my story and hearing, and I hope that I can help somebody out there who's listening today, even if it's one person. I'll be most grateful. So goodbye for now. Thank you.